Are we good? Yeah, we're good. Okay. Wow, this is a lot better quality here. Let me just move here at the light. Wow. This looks really good. Hey guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here, and welcome to another live stream. It's been a while since one of these. It's been about 2 weeks, hasn't it? Yeah, we're just here. We're gonna be doing a little bit of an update for you guys, but it's more just to chat and do another live stream because hey, we need to get back on YouTube and we need to start making our workloads. So, in terms of that, as you guys have probably seen, there has been a ton of stuff going on lately. Hello, Brian Kingsley, and here we go. It's been a ton of stuff that been happening here. Yay, no stupid ponytail. Yeah, that was more just like for my Jedi Apprentice look, Joan Bergfirms. Hi, Cladmaster. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing these names wrong. Yeah, okay, yeah, so here's, essentially what's been happening. As you guys know, we pretty much took a break around September from doing videos because we were just so exhausted, and we had a lot of stuff happen over the summer, and we're just having a lot of plans happen, and shit been going on lately. But we're finally back on track. We're finally getting back into making videos again. In fact, we're going to try to get out as much as we can. We got stuff planned for the next 2 weeks, essentially. A couple things. One, I hope you guys have enjoyed the final episode of the King Kong behind the scenes episodes. That was really fun to quickly put together. And also, our Lion King review came out. Now, the good news is it was finished. It's pretty much good. We're all done on that. Thank God, that took forever. Here's the only problem, though, with that episode. Disney constantly claimed it. Now, normally I've never had a problem with that. I've never had a problem with Disney. I mean, I reviewed Mighty Joe Young and a few other things, but essentially, this is kind of like the first time that I think because of the Disney Plus streaming service and a lot of shit going down, Disney's just been constantly claiming shit. So, for example, my Lion King review, I had to edit that damn thing, or re-edit it, 5 times and re-upload it 5 times. Every time there was a different claimant, and to the point I'm like, fine, Disney, you win. You get the free advertisement. So, when it comes to Disney content, especially their film library, it's going to be very rare that you see me review something, which is a shame because I really want to review things like Hunchback of Notre Dame. I want to review its sequel at some point, which, by the way, if you guys want spoilers, is my #2 worst movie of all time. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. So, other than that, I've just been, like, obviously, so yeah, Disney is not going to be a big thing. And another example of that is, I'm in about next week, not this Friday, but next Friday, it's going to be available for Patreon people tomorrow. There's a specific trailer for something sci-fi related that Disney owns, and I did the trailer, and Disney claimed it. And I've had a few Disney claims lately. So, basically, luckily I'm a bit backed up on this, but basically, Disney has been after my ass for some odd reason. I don't know why. Most of my reviews for their content has been very positive. Star Wars is safe, Brian. Star Wars is safe. Absolutely safe. But in terms of Disney content, I'm probably not going to review as much because I'm just afraid of getting claimed. I don't know how people like Tony with it, Tony Goldmark and everybody, how they all deal with that. So, yeah, so the Lion King review's out there for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's already hit 1,000 views. But bear in mind, I'm not making any expenses on it because Disney just claimed it like so many times. So, if you guys really want to support me and help me, because YouTube is essentially my full-time job, go watch the trailers, go watch the blooper behind the scenes reel, and keep getting those views up because that will help me earn some expenses, essentially. Yeah, so Jack and the Wrath of Disney. Disney! But yeah, so that's been happening. In terms of our next set of reviews, we do have a schedule planned. Not necessarily release, but we're planning to review more stuff in the future. Except, as you guys saw in my update review, we're just taking our time on that. We're not rushing to deadlines or anything, so a lot of people are asking me to, review this, review that, but because I'm taking my time on it right now, I can't really do much except for the things I really want to talk about. So, in that sense, there's not really any more scheduled release dates for anything. They just come out when they come out. And that's due to a few things. One, it's just because I don't want to rush and I want to take my time, and I do want to make my videos look good. Second of all, there's potential that next year, about a year out from now, I will be moving into my own place and moving into essentially my own apartment or a place to live, essentially. So I really got to focus on that. And by the time I get settled in, I'll be able to get back to making big time videos. I'll be able to actually get back into doing the show properly, because I do have some ideas that I want to put on the table. I don't have, Anthony, I don't have a time limit. I don't really know. They're just done when they're done. I can't really answer, I can't give you guys dates. So they just come out when they come out. But what I'm going to do is, to keep you guys a little bit excited, I may post some behind the scenes stuff on social media. I'm also going to be, once the video's completed, a certain review is done, they're going to be released a week early they're going to be released, but they're going to be available for the first week, available for Patreon supporters. However, I will be putting out trailers prior to their, when they're wrapped up, and they'll be available on YouTube, but there'll be a link to the Patreon if you guys want to see it a week early. So that way, it can help me, earn some expenses and everything for paying for shit. So yeah, that's happening. Aside from that, yeah, just putting out extra videos for you guys once a week. I'm going to try to get back to these live streams, once a week, every Wednesday night if I can. But yeah, we had the, final episode of the behind the scenes of Kong that came out, which is fantastic. And then, yeah, I've got a few more food corners. I've got a few more Lego Castle videos from my old channel that are going to be put back up. And a few other things. Like, I mean, I might try to put out some of my old classic content from either my old channel or videos that haven't seen the light of day. And, like, for example, my first film I ever made was made 20 years ago. And I want to do a nice little fix-up remaster of the film to at least present to you guys to see where I started my first film in making movies and everything. So, other than that, yeah, we're gonna keep going on the schedule, on the, order of videos that we have planned. We have things of, I'm trying to think, for example, we have, we've got a bunch of reviews coming out. We have, more Kong reviews in the future. But again, they're gonna be delayed a little bit because I want to take my time. I do have my next two Kong reviews, are essentially gonna be a reissue of Kong vs. Godzilla and King Kong Escapes. They're probably going to come out prior to Godzilla vs. Kong, and we have a very special guest who will be helping us with these two episodes that we're in talks with, so look forward to that. And aside from that, the reason not many videos are going to probably be constant is because I'm going to be trying to look for some odd jobs over the holidays to make some cash. So aside from that, what else can you expect? Okay, Friday. Friday you will see my opening night for Joker. It's a heavily requested movie for me to look at. I did see it. I can't reveal much right now, but my opening night is available right now for people on Patreon, and it will be up on Saturday. Or no, not Saturday, Friday. It'll be up Friday, my review of Joker on opening night. And I know it's 2 weeks out, but I just wanted to get something out there. What else can you expect? Again, more Castle videos, more Food Corner, but stuff is coming. Stuff is coming along the way. You'll see a lot, happening over, the fall, October season and November, December. I'm gonna try to get more reactions out for you guys, because I know you guys really enjoy those. I'm probably gonna do the next one will be a Thomas the Tank Engine one, because those are heavily requested. I am so surprised how requested those are. Those I just did on my spare time. I was just bored making those, but surprisingly, they did really well. So I'm going to try to do more of those down the line. Maybe some trailers. Obviously, when the Godzilla vs. Kong trailer does drop, you will see a reaction to that, and maybe even Rise of Skywalker. I want to discuss a bit more about Rise of Skywalker, because Star Wars is sort of popular here. So yeah, those are essentially the updates in terms of what's been happening with the channel, but things are coming along, and we're pushing for more and more time to work on them, because we just want to make them look as good as we can. So with that said, we're going to go immediately to the questions you guys have about the show, or any films in particular, and we'll just have a good little movie talk, basically, tonight. I mean, I've been wanting to get back, and I apologize, I haven't been able to do many live streams. It's just I've been so preoccupied with other things and shit. So, I know this Sunday I'm actually going to a studio shoot to help do photography for some stuff, so that should be fun. I'm a prop master for that kind of shit, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, fire away the questions, and let's see what we got. Can we, like, open the question box here? Wait, top chat messages. All messages. Okay, here, I'm just gonna do that. Okay. Sunday. Okay. Sunday, yeah. Absolutely. Hang on, I've got a message from a friend here. One moment, please. Okay, it's obviously not working. So anyway, your thoughts on Legendary's Kong having a beard for Godzilla vs. Kong? In terms of me talking to the kaiju community about that, I just call him Rabbi Kong. The whole thing of fucking, Kong with a beard. Let's see when the trailer pops. I'll decide my opinion on it. It's an interesting design. I guess it's a nod to Jordan Vogt Roberts, who directed Kong Skull Island. I don't know. But for now, I'm just calling him Rabbi Kong. Oh my god. I am Rabbi Kong! Come here, Godzilla! I will give you circumcision and I will nick your tip! I've watched way too many Mel Brooks comedies to get that joke. If you guys have not seen, Rabbi Kong, a new religion has been invented. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, so if you guys have seen Robin Hood Men in Tights, it's one of my favorite comedies. Mel Brooks plays Rabbi Tuckman, which is a homage to Friar Tuck from the Robin Hood movies. But yeah, there's a thing. Yeah, Rabbi Kong. Kongism. Anti-defamation. Let's not go dark, guys. Let's keep it clean. What do you think about a remake of John Carter? Okay, so I liked John Carter when it came out. I only saw it once. I thought it was an entertaining movie. My only problem was it ended. It just kept going. It never ended. Like, I remember specifically holding in my piss by the time we got to the final battle, and it went on for another half hour. I was literally holding in my bladder in the aisle, waiting for this thing to end. And when the credits rolled, I just rushed to the bathroom and took a piss, because that movie would not end. If you thought Return of the King didn't end, oh, sweet Jesus Christ. I nominate Jack as leader of Kongism. All right, yeah, Father Big Jack. It's like, bless me, Father Big Jack, for I have sinned. What is troubling you, my son? I watched Kinky Kong the other day, and some things happened. Could you repeat that slower, my son? Yeah, it's Kiko. It's like my son. Yeah, you want. This live stream's like going like places right now, essentially. Now, in answer to your question about Mummy Month, yes, it is happening. It is happening. It's just not in October. It's not going to be a Halloween special. It's going to be a late Halloween special, but we're currently shooting as we speak. We've started filming that, and I'm also working on my next review. So I'm balancing all my reviews all at once. I'm eating popcorn only to hear you mention. Yeah, I just imagine the popcorn going, oh, Jesus. Did you actually buy a Japanese Coca-Cola t-shirt from Japan? No, I wish I could go to Japan, because that is on my bucket list. That is where I'm either going to... The way I see myself going to Japan. Either when I get married, it's going to be my honeymoon, or it's going to be on my bucket list. It's going to be the place I go to essentially fall. To essentially, like, croak. Have you been watching the Godzilla marathons on TCM? Yes, I have. I was watching it all last Friday. I watched it all the way till, like, 3 a.m. I loved, it was actually kind of the first time I watched a lot of them. So I watched, Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, Invasion of the Astro Monster, Sea Monster I really enjoy. I really like Godzilla vs. Sea Monster. And what I love about what they're showing on TCM, they're actually essentially premiering the prints for the Criterion Collection Blu-ray, which, god damn it, I want that so fucking bad, but it's $200. Fuck that. But in answer to your question about the shirt, no, I got this as a Christmas present. Ever seen Predator? I've seen most of the first one. I haven't seen the second one. I haven't seen Predators, and I saw The Predator, which was fucking garbage. Terrible fucking movie. What is your most hype movie for 2020? Probably Godzilla vs. Kong. There's not much in terms of movies that I really want to see next year. But really, Godzilla vs. Kong is kind of the one film I do want to definitely watch over the summer. That's going to be definitely on my to-do list. I don't know if there's anything else until 2021, like things like Jurassic World 3 and a few other things coming out the following year. How are things good? I'm good, Nintendo Fan 101. I ran into a Predator. Wait a minute. Was Chris Hansen there? Was Chris Hansen going, why don't you have a seat right over here? What's your favorite War of the Worlds movie? I'd have to say the original. Steven Spielberg's film is an okay movie, but I just feel like it's under a lot of I guess, symbolism in terms of the times it was made. I guess you could consider it part of that Alien trilogy, but for me, I like the original. All the other adaptations honestly just suck. Don't even get me started on the Asylum films. Those were fucking garbage. In fact, I think that was the first ripoff they did, was that War of the Worlds, because I think that book's under public domain, essentially. But aside from that, productions on other films have been going well. We're still filming the Star Wars prequels, which are pretty cool. There's a flaming hot Cheeto. What? How the fuck? See this twitching right now? Like, this is literally hurting my brain thinking about this. There is a flaming hot Cheetos movie being made. Okay, it's not fucking late 1980s where you could make an NES game out of that shit. You can't do that. How? I mean, I like hot flaming Cheetos. Don't get me wrong. I like the green shit. The green shit's my favorite, but how do you make a movie out of that unless it's about Chester Cheeto and he's like beating the shit out of the Pink Panther? That's all I can figure out how they can make a Cheetos movie. Unless it's like Food Fight 2. They're doing the Food Fight cinematic universe. Oh no. Oh. War of the Worlds public domain. What do you think about Nostalgia Critics The Wall? As a person who still unfortunately does, like, I mean, not unfortunately, I mean, as a guilty pleasure, still watches Nostalgia Critic. Yeah, it's pretty weird. I didn't understand. I'm not saying I hated it. I'm not saying I liked it. I just didn't understand it, really. And, you know, I know a lot of people have been complaining about it. And my only 2 cents about it is, if it's what everybody's been saying it essentially is, I'm surprised Pink Floyd hasn't sued them. Hasn't, like, put a cease and desist. If it's that much not a review, I'm surprised Pink Floyd hasn't put a cease and desist on them. But other than that, fine. Have you seen the 2000 version of E.T.? Yeah, actually, that's a good question. I was around when that came out, and I actually did see that in theaters. I saw that in theaters with actually my first grade teacher, which was kind of hilarious because I used to, like, you know, we used to hang out on our own outside of, like, school and everything. So we saw a couple of movies. We saw E.T., we saw Attack of the Clones and everything. That was interesting. But yeah, I remember seeing that film, and I remember being scared to death because I'm thinking, like, because as a kid, E.T. scared the shit out of me. But in this case, I was like, oh god, I don't know if I can handle it on the big screen. But it was the first time I was able to sit there all the way through and be like, this is a fun little movie. I like this. But I love E.T. E.T. out of all the Spielberg Alien films is my personal favorite. Love E.T. And I really okay, so as you guys know, I'm a big Universal Studios guy. I'm really excited. I don't know if you guys heard the news recently, but they're building a Jason Bourne stunt show at Universal Studios Florida, and it's going to be placed where Terminator 2 3D is. Now, a lot of people were surprised by this, and I am too. Like, I'm actually, because there was a rumor for a time it was going to be a Star Trek show, which would have been a nice homage to the old days of Universal where they had a Star Trek thing going on. But honestly, Jason Bourne seems like a good idea. Because, and the reason, if you guys are wondering and are still upset why Terminator was taken out, was mostly because it wasn't because they didn't want to, they wanted to close, it wasn't because they wanted to close it. It isn't like Kong or Jaws where it was a cost-effective measure where the gas was costing too much and they had to close it. It's because of legal purposes, because at the time, Cameron was getting the rights back and Dark Fate is on the way in about a month. And Universal didn't, because when Cameron got the rights back, they didn't want to get sued. So basically, they cut their losses and cut off paying a fuck ton of lawyers, and they essentially paid off basically closed it down because of legal reasons, and that's why they're trying to get a quick attraction with the same feel up and running, and so they chose Jason Bourne because they own that franchise. So, and then in answer to your question about a Middle-earth park of Universal, that's actually happening. I've been in word with a few people who are working on the new third park that they're opening. They've got a few things planned, one being Nintendo World. I heard they might be putting more Harry Potter in there, But one of the biggest e-tickets they're going to be having is a Lord of the Rings theme park, which I'm excited about. I want to see what they do with Lord of the Rings. Universal Studios Japan and yeah, they have a Godzilla vs. Evangelion ride. They also have a Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z ride. Holy fucking shit. Where was this when I was at Canada's Wonderland? Hi, Brock. Good to see you. What's my opinion on Star Trek? I like Star Trek. I mean, I grew up with mostly Next Gen with my dad, because my dad's a big Next Generation fan. Even though I'm more of a Star Wars fan, he's more of a Trekkie. But in terms of Star Trek, like, I like a bit of Next Gen, mostly because I'm a fan of LeVar Burton, because I liked reading Rainbow as a kid. But in terms of Star Trek itself, I'm not big into the original series. I find it's a little tad boring, although I do appreciate what it did for television at the time. Aside from that, I like the J.J. Abrams movies. I haven't seen anything after Into Darkness, but I do like the J.J. Abrams Star Trek reboots. They were good. Do you used to watch Pro Jared? I've only seen 1 or 2 episodes. I like the Sailor Moon episode, but that's about it. That's really about it. I mean, I never thought... See, I'm more of a Kid Icarus fan. I'm more of a JonTron fan. I like Kid Icarus because he's essentially British JonTron, in my opinion. And I think JonTron because he's able to branch out into other stuff and still be constantly funny. Him and James, essentially, James Rolfe, they still put out good content. In fact, I'm one of those people who would petition for JonTron to host the Academy Awards. Think about how fucking funny that would be. That would be amazing. So there's that. But, I'm trying to think what else I was going to say. But yeah, we're working on our next set of reviews. I'm currently editing the review portion of the next big one. It's going to take me a bit of time because there's a lot of, I'll just put it like this, there's a lot of stop motion involved. And I love getting back into that, which is great. Also, one thing before we continue questions. Again, if you guys want to support the channel, link down below to our Patreon. You can support us there. You can get early access to all our content as well as other features. As well, if you guys want to send us, obviously, fan letters, gifts, donations, you can at this address. Excuse me. BigJackFilms, P.O. Box 326, Queensville, Ontario, L0G1R0. You guys can send us some stuff there. Aside from that, we're also going to be doing this. If you guys would like a copy of my Kong film, we don't have a DVD out yet, unfortunately. But one thing we are doing, we are planning, and we've already been manufacturing them about 4 a day. We're putting out VHS copies of my movie, and they're taped VHSs, and they come in those clamshell cases. We're going to put out a nice little cover and everything. So if you guys would like a copy, send us a message via Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. And what we're going to be doing is we will send you our PayPal, and it'll be about $5 to $10 plus shipping, depending on where you're at. And basically, you get a copy of the film. I'll even autograph it for you guys if you want. Maybe a letter of appreciation. But those are going to be available. So if you want a copy, just send us a PM or whatever. We're going to get started on making covers soon, and we'll keep you guys posted on that. So there's that. I think it actually, funny enough, I did a test on VHS, and it looks a lot better, essentially. Will you review the Star Wars Holiday Special and Ewok movies? Holiday Special, I'm considering at one point with Star Wars. Probably not the Ewoks movies, because those were terrible. The only thing I remember was Wilford Brimley, but damn it. Which is better, Cats the movie or Dr. Dolittle? Both are fucking awful. A couple of reasons why. 1, Cats looks like drugs made it. 2, I am so sick and tired of these fairy tale book series. Any kind of book that's made has to be made. They have to Lord of the Rings it. Dr. Doodle looks like they're making it a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, but with animals. So they're Lord of the Ringsing it. I'm getting sick of that with book adaptations. And when it comes to Dr. Dolittle, I'm more of a fan of the original Dr. Dolittle. I did not like those Eddie Murphy movies. I thought they weren't funny. In fact, Eddie Murphy, I'll say this right now, he's not funny. He's not funny to me, essentially. So there's that. One more thing, I just got a notification. We have TikTok now. If you guys saw my compilation video, guys, link down below. Go check out my TikTok channel and follow me there, because I do a lot of little skits there that aren't available right now on YouTube. Zilla 98 would crush Kong 05 like a bug. Yeah, probably. Will you review the animated Clone Wars movie and show? That is on my to-do list as well with Star Wars, but that won't be for a long while because basically we're doing a trilogy a year. So the next trilogy will be the prequels, then we'll do the sequels, then we'll do the spin-off films as 3 films, and then we'll do the TV shows and shit. Who do you like more, Tarkin or Dooku? That's tough. They're both played by 2 well-respected Hammer actors. I like both of them. I can't decide. However, I'll make it even better. People ask me, who would I cast? Like, if I were to do, say, a Count Dooku spin-off movie or a Tarkin spin-off movie, the problem is obviously both actors, Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee, are unfortunately dead, so who would you cast in their place? Hell, I put this out there as almost a sequel to the Hammer films done now. If I were to cast Dracula, I would cast Charles Dance. He looks extremely like Peter Cushing, and I think he would be an excellent Dracula. Van Helsing, I would cast Tim Roth, because he has a Peter Cushing look, and I love those 2 actors. Them in a Dracula Van Helsing movie would be amazing as a tribute to the Hammer films. That's what I would do. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Make it like a sequel to those. Does Godzilla King of the Monsters remind you of Final Wars? To be honest, a little bit, but it feels more like a remake of Ghidorah, the 3-headed monster. A mix of that and Final Wars, essentially. What if Blumhouse made a Kong film? Can you refresh my memory what Blumhouse did? Are they the ones who did the Halloween reboot? I'm not too sure. Do you have any new Mattel figures? No, but I want that Brachiosaurus figure, and I'm probably never going to get it because it's not available here in Canada, and it's a Target exclusive. Son of a bitch. I am probably never going to get luck on getting that Brachiosaur. Essentially. Hi, Mason. Good to see ya. What would you think about a Haunted Ant Mansion movie set around? No, because they did that with Eddie Murphy and it sucked. Not a Mace Windu prequel. I would like to see a follow-up where he did survive and maybe he's like on a farm or something. I don't know. Okay, so those guys, I don't know. I really don't know about that. Could you imagine what if it would be like if Robert Downey Jr. scarred that on? You know what? That wouldn't be too half bad, actually. I think that would be pretty solid. I think he'd be pretty good at that if that was a Marvel-based Kong movie. I prefer you over NC because understanding a movie genre is wonderful information. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I will admit, like, NC was one of my biggest inspirations for getting into reviews. In fact, a lot of my old reviews did copy that formula a little bit. But I think the trick is for any big reviewer is that it's all about finding your niche, finding out what essentially, what gets people coming back. For me, it's either Kong stuff or making a fan film-based review on something. And because I'm so used to that, I really enjoy making them. It's allowing me to tell stories I want to tell, and it allows me to essentially make films on the side of it, essentially. Flex tape. Flex tape! I'm just reading the comments out loud because it's fucking hilarious. Big reviewer, BigJackFilms. Thank you, Mason. So were you not with a different take on the Haunted Mansion? No, they tried it once and it fucked up. Well, let's see how Jungle Cruise does. Maybe we can do a reboot. Have you seen Godzilla? Yeah, I know. That was the first bit in the discussion of the live stream, the whole fucking beard thing. Have you got around to seeing Fate Stay Night anime films? No. I haven't really had much time to watch any anime movies, unfortunately, or any anime in general. I've just been busy with other things. However, I do want to do more anime intros in the style of my show. I do have a couple ideas of what I want to do. I want to do something with, essentially, what is it? I want to try to do more, anime style, some Power Ranger style, like, or something, like just maybe I want to do an like an intro based on Dragon Ball Z. That's more what I would like to do. A sec. I'm just reading the comments here. Let's see here. Have you heard that there's a new 2D animated Christmas film coming out? Oh, is that No, none of that Netflix animated shit. Sorry. If Kong 76 had a T-Rex in the film, do you think the T-Rex suit would look like? I think they should have gone more on par with The Land That Time Forgot, because I actually think that's one of my personal favorite dinosaur movies. I think they should have gone on with something like that. And just in my opinion, if they had done, I think it would have been actually pretty solid. Yeah, Thomas is cool. Thomas is great. Jesus, so many comments going by. Essentially. Trying to think what else to talk about. Is there any other movies I do want to see Dr. Sleep. Dr. Sleep looks pretty good. What are the new dinosaurs in Jurassic World 3 that you would like to see? Really, I just want the old ones. I really want the old ones. I essentially want, the Spitter, the Dilophosaur. I want to do like something like the Dilophosaur in a sort of in one of the films, because it keeps getting skipped out on in all the films, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, let's see what happens. I'm not like the whole announcement about the original cast coming back. It's cool, but given what they did with Jeff Goldblum in Fallen Kingdom, I'm very iffy. That's not gonna sell me. I still think the series can stick the landing, but Fallen Kingdom just really was butchered, and it just left a really bad taste in my mouth. So, that's essentially what I get. Have I seen every one of them? Pretty much. Some I've skipped out on, or just kind of stopped because they weren't like catching me. But I've seen most of them. Have I seen the Banana Splits movie yet? I want to. The thing is with the Banana Splits, I did grow up with that, because I remember I used to stay up late as a kid watching Cartoon Network, and I would watch all their obscure stuff, so like some of their early Adult Swim stuff. That's how I discovered one of my favorite television shows of all time, home movies. But I used to watch things like Yu Yu Hakusho and shit like that. But Banana Splits, I remember being on, I think every morning at like 3 a.m. It was that and Gumby. I would try to catch up. And I remember I never thought I kind of thought, am I dreaming, or am I, like, something's happening here? And then I discovered it, and it's catchy. The theme song's catchy as hell, and I fucking love that show, even how creepy it is. So the fact that they made it a horror film, and the fact it's already creepy, just perfect. Absolutely perfect, honestly. Favorite Joker actor, Mark Hamill. Has always been my personal favorite, although my favorite Joker actor is an actor who hasn't played him yet, and that's Iwan Rheon, who was Ramsey Bolton in Game of Thrones. He should be the Joker. Have you watched any movies produced by Lionsgate? I'm planning to review one, and that is Power Rangers. That's going to be one of my reviews coming up. When are you going to look at Garbage Pail Kids? Okay, so most people consider Garbage Pail Kids one of the worst films ever made. Hands down. And I agree. But it's definitely not on my top 10. Definitely not on my top 10 worst movies. In fact, I would say it's so bad it's good. I actually consider it a guilty pleasure, because you watch it for how bad it is, and it's out of this fucking world how fucking bad it is. It's hilarious. So for me, I love the Garbage Pail Kids movie, just how stupid it is. It's really stupid, but I love it. Have you seen the costume leaks for James Gunn's movie Suicide Squad? I haven't yet, but I'll take a look at them. I don't know much about it. All I know is it's essentially a big reboot. Did you like the new Joker movie? You will find out on Friday on my opening night, and if you want to see my opinion early, you can support me on Patreon. Would I ever do a Discord server? I am on Discord. I'm not on it as much now, but I don't know if I'd be able to do that. I'd be able to manage it, essentially, because I have a hard time managing my channels and stuff as a whole as of now. I don't know, maybe someday if I get enough people involved. Maybe if I hit like 10,000, that'd be something. Birds of Prey trailer. Looks interesting. Although I remember more of the TV series that was, I think, in continuity with the Schumacher Batman movies. That was essentially what I enjoyed. But I don't know about this one. Let's see what happens. I mean, I'm only going in it for Harley Quinn, because Margot Robbie's such a great actress. The Godzilla 98 sequel script is actually pretty good. Were they good at what? Were they gonna include King Ghidorah and shit? That's what I want to know. I've seen How many Eddie Murphy movies have you seen? I've seen the Shrek movies, and those have not held up. Saw Haunted Mansion, total shit. I think I saw Norbert, or whatever the fuck it's called. And that was just, you know what? That movie actually made me sick. And the reason for that is because when I went in, I already had a high fever, and it was that in Big Mama's house too, and I was sick to my stomach, and I think just watching it, it wasn't just the fact I was ill, and I didn't know it, but at the same time, watching those two films literally made me sick. Like, just for how not good they were. They didn't add much, which is surreal. Okay, I'll grant, I like one Eddie Murphy movie. One Eddie Murphy movie. What's that one? I can't remember what I think it's called, like, not Moneyball. No, it's that movie where it's him playing, like, a stupid version of himself, and fucking Steve Martin is the film director. Like, it's a movie about a making of a film, but they have to steal all their equipment, and they get Eddie Murphy to come in to be, like, a dumb Eddie Murphy to be the Bowfinger. That's it. Bowfinger. That's my only Eddie Murphy movie I like, because I love films about making films, and that's one of my personal favorites. But yeah, Eddie Murphy's just not my thing. I don't find him funny. He's not funny. You know who's funnier? Dave Chappelle. You know who's funnier? Chris Rock. No, his brother is funnier. Charlie Murphy was funnier. He was way funnier than fucking Eddie. I'm sorry. Eddie Murphy's just annoying. Okay, I'm gonna just put this right here. Shrek has not aged well for me. I'm not a big Shrek fan. A couple reasons why. One, the animation looks terrible and has not aged well. Two, they're very mean-spirited movies. And they don't come off really funny. Three, the internet ruined it. The internet ruined Shrek for me. Kevin Hart is funnier. You know, the internet ruined it. In fact, the internet stuff I can watch more because they made it funnier. And so yeah, Shrek for me is just overdone. It was overdone when it came out, and it's overdone now. So basically, it's like, the only thing I will give the movie's credit. I like Shrek Retold more. There's one that I'll give it credit. I like the soundtrack, not gonna lie. The soundtrack kicks ass. All-Star, On My Way, fucking I Need a Hero is, like, I'll say this, the I Need a Hero from Shrek 2, not gonna lie, that is the better cover of the song. Here's my other thing I don't like about Shrek. If I ever review these, one of the things I'm really gonna complain about, they keep pissing me off with their anticlimaxes. Do you ever notice that? Every Shrek movie is anticlimactic as hell. They're not exciting. They just abruptly end. The villain's defeated completely. Like, the whole suspense and tension comes to a halt. It's not exciting. And I think it's because it just lack of action. Maybe if it was just me, like, if I were to remake Shrek, let's put it like this. If I remade Shrek, I would not only make it funny, I'd make it an action series. Like an epic. Like, give that the Lord of the Rings treatment. Then I'll be like, okay, I'll watch this. But yeah, like, I really enjoy, like, I'd say out of all of them, yeah, I do like the second one more. Third one's embarrassing. Fourth one is actually okay, but the first one is just not my cup. It's just really not aged well. But I will give credit. I do like the second one probably the most, and the Puss in Boots. Probably because Puss in Boots was always my favorite character, because it's fucking Antonio Banderas. It's fucking Zorro as a cat. Abso-goddamn-lutely, I'll watch this. Can you show your fan reaction at your Kong Film and Chief Fest? I did in my last episode, the behind the scenes episodes. You can check it out there. Have I seen the Beverly Hills Cop movies? No, but I know the theme song because of that damn fucking frog. Okay, Prince of Egypt. I don't remember the whole hype about it. I thought it was just looks like a good little movie. I saw it in theaters and I thought it was okay. I think, yeah, I was more of a fan of El Dorado. One, because I think it's just a fun little movie. Two, that fucking chick's hot. Who's the chick in fucking Road to El Dorado? I'm sorry, she looks fucking good. She's fucking hot. I like that chick. Have you seen the teaser for Camp Cretaceous? Oh god, is it Sleepaway Camp with dinosaurs that it turns out they're all guys? No, it's okay, I got it. Combine Jurassic Park. I can't pronounce that. Combine Jurassic Park and Sleepaway Camp. You know, it's like, there's no unauthorized breeding in Jurassic Park because all the animals in Jurassic Park are female. Cut to the end. The raptor's got its mouth open. Oh my god. Blue was the killer. Blue was a boy. Just cut to Cinema Snob like, That's a dick. Oh, combine Jurassic Park with Sleepaway Camp. Oh my god. Cop Out? No, haven't seen that. Yeah, like I liked Road to El Dorado. I remember like actually, you know what? I even liked Sinbad. The Sinbad movie they did was great. Now, granted, my favorite incarnation of Sinbad has always been the Harryhausen films, but that came in pretty damn close to being a good one. Did you like the Peter Jackson's King Kong video game? Yes. In fact, we replayed it again. I played it again, and I played it with a really good friend of mine, and he's working on a video for me right now, so that'll be coming soon. But yeah, that chick from El Dorado was hot. I'm not gonna lie. Have I seen It Chapter 2? No. Because I did not want to sit my ass down for 3 hours. I feel like if they had split it into 2 movies and made it a trilogy, it would have been fine. Real sequel to Jurassic Park, not World. If you made a Jurassic Park anime, who would you want to handle it? They actually did do that. It was a manga in the 90s. They made a manga of it, which is pretty interesting, if you can look it up. Do you like Jean-Claude Van Damme? I do. I actually just bought the Street Fighter movie on DVD, which I've never seen, so I'm looking forward to watching that. Have I seen the TV show Primal? I want to watch it. I just got to find time for it. I mean, when it comes to stuff on television, I rarely get time to watch anything. But yeah, so for me, I might take a look at it. Wow, you did a Scooby-Doo movie. Like, zoinks, that's impressive. Jinkies, shit. Do a house tour video. Maybe someday. I mean, I want to keep my house a little bit, like, consistent and kind of a little private, but maybe someday I'll do that. Who would you cast as Sinbad in a new movie? Ooh, that's a tough question. You know what? Oscar Isaacs as Sinbad. I would totally cast him. I think he would be a great Sinbad, honestly. I think he'd be fantastic. He's got the charm for it. That or Ryan Gosling as Sinbad. That would be great. Let's see. Would you like to see Rhedosaurus in the Monsterverse? No, because I just want to see Toho monsters. The Rock is Sinbad. He's done enough! Can he just do other things? Why do Sinbad? Okay, maybe. Maybe it's like a younger... Like, if The Rock was thin. If The Rock was Scorpion King Rock, then yes. Love my channel, thank you very much. How about Eddie? Stop it, Brock! Don't do this. The worst DreamWorks movie is Ants. Okay, yeah, okay. Ants? I actually do like Ants. Granted, the CGI is terrible. It's absolute garbage. It has not aged well. And you can tell they were rushing to beat out A Bug's Life because fucking Katzenberg is a douchebag. But I like Ants. I did like how more adult it was. I remember being completely shocked at the swearing of it because I went to see it. And I remember when Woody Allen Z was like, who the hell is that? I was like, oh shit, they swear. But I really did. I still like Ants. I think the soundtrack's actually pretty kick-ass in that one. I love the battle scene with the termites where they're like, you know, one guy's like, attack! Epic shit right there. Yeah, A Bug's Life is better. A Bug's Life is way better. See, that's a movie I wouldn't mind talking about one time as A Bug's Life, because honestly, out of all the Pixar movies, it's probably the most underrated. It was kind of a thing when it came out, but since then has kind of gone into obscurity. Not many people really put it on their list of favorite Pixar films. I love A Bug's Life. In fact, where's my sequel to that? Pixar, you have been promising me A Bug's Life 2 since the blooper reel in Toy Story 2. I want A Bug's Life fucking 2, goddammit. I don't care. I want to see what happens next. Most of the cast is still around. You can make this happen. I would love to see A Bug's Life 2. That'd be great. Are you kidding me? More adventures with Flex? See how he's running the colony? Absolutely. And then you can make a better video game because the PS1 game is fucking terrible. Remember the Hex Girls from Scooby-Doo? Oh yeah, I remember that shit. Oh, they were cool. I was more of a fan of the hippie chick and thinking Alien Invaders. Yeah, the chick in Alien Invaders was cooler because she's a fucking hippie. And I love hippies. Hippies are awesome. Home place and now I don't want to live in it. Ooh, is it overpopulated? Is it because of like the tourists now that come in? Interesting. I didn't know that. I want to visit it because my dad had served in the war, and I want to see kind of the stuff he, like all the locations he went to. That's on my bucket list too, is Vietnam for sure. Um, if the Heisei Godzilla vs. Kong movie was made, I'd say they were probably going to go with the 76 design. That's probably what they would probably do. James Gunn wrote Scooby-Doo. I did know that. I didn't know that until after I saw Guardians. I'm like, oh shit. Okay, he's pretty cool. Behemoth versus Kong. Kong would rip his tusks out and shove it up his ass. I'm sorry. Did you know that John Wayne's grandson is in The Mandalorian? Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that actually is pretty cool. When it comes to Western films, I'm not big into John Wayne. I think John Wayne is cool, but I'm more of an Eastwood guy. I love the Eastwood Westerns. The fucking whatever his name is, the Dollars trilogy. Freaking love that shit. Which is better, the 76 Kong suit or the 98 Joe Kong suit? Okay, 76. I like the 76 costume for what they did, even though it was an argument. It was a real struggle to get that on screen. And apparently the suit was not working, and it was only because of the lighting and camera work they made it look good. From what I heard, if it was brought out now, it would look terrible. But in terms of more authentic gorilla costumes, I would say Joe 98, because Rick Baker always stated that was the suit he always wanted to do for Kong. I should get going. Thanks for having me on, Jack. All right, take it easy, Brock. Can't wait to see what videos you got lined up. What CGI movies are better, ILM, Weta, or DNEG? I'm gonna say the current holder right now is Weta, or ILM, but Weta does it a lot better. Weta has better details on shit, in my opinion. I think they put out the best CGI. Is Weta. Would you ever want to remake Planet of the Apes? Because I would. No. No, I would not. They tried it with Tim Burton. It was fucking terrible. I'm sorry, Huey. I'd say, if anything, the next Apes film, if you're going to continue on after War, I'd say you do, like, an immediate prequel to the original. Because I always thought the way they should end that prequel series, or that origin series, is not necessarily take place immediately when the first film starts, but at least have a scene where the last shot in the movie is, like, kind of panning in on a beach, and you just see the Statue of Liberty all right after the explosion on the beach, and then you just hear, before we cut to black, the echoes of Charlton Heston going, "You maniacs!" Cut to black. That would have been a great way to end it, I think. If they had ended it like that, that would have been perfect. Have you seen the 1997 Anastasia? Yeah, I love that movie. I know it's essentially Disney now. But I love it. I love Anastasia. That's a great movie. That's a good little animated movie. It's a big one. Christopher Lloyd's a great Rasputin villain. Bartok's great. I think the one thing I remember the most, the two things I remember the most from that film, I remember the Darker the Night song, which kicks ass, one of the best villain songs ever, and the train scene. The train scene, I remember seeing that, I was like, that's awesome! I love that train scene. Because I did like how they made it essentially an action oriented series. Like, they made it mixed action with, you know, typical Disney princess film. Let's see. Have you ever seen Titan AE? I did, and I hated it. I remember the trailers really grabbed me when it was coming out, when the Earth exploded, because that's all I remember. I was like, oh shit. And I remember being hyped for it, and then I saw it, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Hated it. I think I saw all that the same year. The Tim Burton Apes, Tim Burton Apes, and Titan AE, I think I saw about the same time, and I hated them. Love Quest for Camelot. Quest for Camelot's a great movie. I don't know what people are saying why it sucks. I don't think it sucks. I think it's great. It's got Pierce Bronson as Obi-Wan Kenobi King Arthur. Yeah, that's what I call him. I call that King Arthur Obi-Wan Kenobi King Arthur because he looks like Obi-Wan, like Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Star Wars prequels. And by the way, I am excited for Ewan McGregor coming back as Obi-Wan. I'm not gonna lie. I know a lot of people, I mean, even I've been kind of turning a little bit on the Disney Star Wars films. And the thing is, like, I want to see if they stick the landing on Episode 9, but as far as I know, if I'm going in, I'm only paying Disney money. So, let's see what happens. But I am looking forward to that Obi-Wan series. Have I seen Excalibur? Fuck, Huey, I love Excalibur. Excalibur's great. It's fucking kick-ass. I think my favorite character in that is Patrick Stewart. Because Patrick Stewart makes anything gold. Like, I love that scene when Arthur pulls out the sword. Now, granted, the kid who plays Arthur is not a good actor, I'm not going to lie. But when Patrick Stewart comes up and he says, I saw him draw the sword, and everybody's like, are you with us or against us? So Patrick Stewart, and Patrick Stewart's just like, against you! Ha-ha! Patrick Stewart, it can do either serious or hilarious, and this is one where he's just so over the top, it's hilarious. I can't remember which night he was, but Patrick Stewart was hilarious in that film. And also, I love the score to that. I think that was really the first time I know the classical track O Fortuna was popular beforehand, but that movie really jumped the popularity of that track, and I love that track too. It's really great. Monty Python the Holy Grail, one of my favorite comedies of all time. Freaking love Monty Python the Holy Grail. And answer to your question, Justin, I thought in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of lima berries. Now go away, or I will taunt you a second time. Love Monty Python the Holy Grail. In fact, I will say this. You know how people get really pissed off at cop-outs in films? This movie did the ultimate cop-out. Like, a cop-out that's acceptable because it's a joke. When you have that big epic battle happen, and the cops show up, cop out. Cop out. It's hilarious. Have you seen the trailer for Dr. Dolittle with Robert Downey Jr.? In answer to your question, Huey, I will answer it like this. This was literally me. Oh, what do you know? I didn't know they were making a Dr. Dolittle remake, and Robert Downey Jr.'s in it. Okay, it looks like it's going to be better than the Eddie Murphy movie. From the makers of Maleficent and Alice in Wonderland. And you've completely lost my interest because you're Lord of the Ringing it, aren't you? You're Lord of the Ringsing it. It looks okay. From what I heard, there were a lot of behind-the-scenes problems on that film. A lot. Like, apparently they filmed that whole movie without a script. Looks alright. Not my cup of tea. I'm more of a fan of the original. Not a fan of those Eddie Murphy movies. The one thing I remember from those Eddie Murphy movies, I remember two bits. The first one being when, the mouse has a stomachache or he's in pain, and then, it turned out to be a fart joke. Yuck. It's just a false alarm, it's just gas. You're telling me? That's all I remember was the fart joke with the mouse. And then the second one, I only remember one joke, and it was so bad. It was such a bad joke. It hurts to think about it. But fucking Dr. Dolittle goes up to the bear and says, we're gonna make you famous. And the bear's like, better than Pooh? And Dr. Dolittle's saying, no, they're gonna say Winnie the Who. The jokes about the Emperor of China being Winnie the Pooh was funnier. I'm sorry. Like, fucking... God damn, those movies. I mean, I'm not... They're bad movies, in my opinion, but they're not the worst, but they're still painful movies. I mean, I have my list of the worst, but that's not the worst, in my opinion. That's really not the worst. In fact, the voice actor Eddie Murphy did Dr. Dolittle is the same guy who voiced... What? Eddie Murphy voices Goku? What? Oh my god, okay. Can somebody take a scene with Goku and Vegeta and dub it over with the scene from Shrek, where Shrek and Donkey meet? I would laugh my ass off. Somebody make that. Brock, I know you're listening. Make that shit. Trey Parker does a good... Yeah, I know. I saw that episode of South Park. I thought he actually was a really good impression of that. That was really impressive with his Winnie the Pooh impersonation. You think about this, Cinco Ceratops and Fallen Kingdom looks pretty good. Yeah, it's alright. Sorry if I'm slurring my words a little bit. I'm also really tired. Essentially. So, we're down to our 54-minute mark, which usually means we have an hour of these, so we're going to answer 3 more questions. So before we do that, of course, once again, guys, if you guys want to help us on supporting our channel, support us on Patreon. You get to see a lot of stuff early. You can see the Joker review early in advance as well. Send us your email address at BigJackFilms, PO Box 326, Queensville, Ontario, L0G1R0. Send us donations, send us letters, send us gifts. We'll put them on. We'll do like a fan mail fanatics or something. So there's that. And of course, if you guys want a copy of my movie, my Kong movie on VHS, just send us a PM and we'll send you our PayPal account. So there's that. So 3 more questions. Let's go. What's your favorite film you've made? That's a good question. I'd say the first thing I think for me, Kong was essentially one of my favorite films I've made because it was a real learning experience for me. It was a real kind of test ground for what I can do. And it was real. It was an education for me. That's the best way I can describe it. It's a real educational process. I think in terms of where I am now accomplished, I'd say maybe like favorite episodes to make or favorite episodes that were worth the time. It's really a cross between the Star Wars episodes that I did, the Star Wars reviews, and the 100th episode, my Dragon Ball Evolution review, because my Dragon Ball Evolution review probably had the most heart and effort put in because I just wanted to talk about this film for the longest time and also tell a story and bring it to a real emotional conclusion. So I think out of all of them, that's been my favorite to work on so far. But in terms of everything else, I think Kong-wise in my reviews, my favorite's always been probably my Kongfrontation episode or my Ring of Kong episode. Those are my personal favorites. Second question, let's see here. What is the worst movie you have watched lately? That's tough. That's really tough. I haven't seen really any bad movies this year. Really thinking about it, like, honestly, like, I will say this. Like, I know The Asylum as a whole is the #1 because they just make the worst. But if I'm going to pick a solo film as probably the worst movie, aside from Asylum, if it's #2, Hunchback 2 is the second worst movie I've ever seen in my life. I'm even wanting to review it and just beat the shit out of it because I fucking hate that movie. I fucking hate that piece of shit. Okay, and final question. I'm gonna actually answer 2 more. Will I do more commentaries? I actually do at some point. I do want to do a commentary on the 100th episode. I do want to do a commentary on Star Wars. Those are coming up. Will I review Power Rangers? Yes, that is on the go. And say, hey Jack, I saw the Lion King episode. My thought of the film is that they don't mention much Simba and Nala's relationship as a couple. It wasn't really something I wanted to focus on. I just wanted to focus on the aspects of what I liked at the film. But there's that. And then, okay, fine. Last episode. Which is better, the original Star Trek or Next Gen? I like Next Gen. If we're going by original series, I like the Abrams stuff. So, yeah, guys, that's it for this live stream. Again, thank you so much for, coming out. We got a lot of people on this one. Of course, if you have any other further questions, let us know in the comments, and we'll answer them in the comments section. Of course, if you guys want to help support the channel, again, link down below to our Patreon. You can basically $1 or more will get you early access to all of our content as well as extra special features. If you guys want to buy a copy of our film on VHS, they're about $5 to $10 plus shipping, and you just message us and we'll send you our PayPal. Of course, if you want to send us donations, letters, gifts, you can at this address, BigJackFilms, PO Box 326, Queensville, Ontario, L0G1R0. You guys can check it out there. Trying to think what else to pump out. Of course, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We do post stuff outside of YouTube. On TikTok especially, I'm having a lot of fun with that. In fact, it's actually very addictive. But you guys can check out that. And of course, as always, like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys later. This is BigJackFilms signing off, and I will see you guys Friday for my opening night of The Joker. Take it easy, guys.